What's going on, Xbox and YouTube? Now, I know I have been gone for quite a while, haven't made a video, but there's been tons of games that have been coming out. We got NHL 15, Madden 15, FIFA 15, Destiny, and just been playing tons and tons of all of these games, trying to get a good idea of what they are so I can give you guys a good review. But with that being said, guys, we are going to be looking at some Destiny campaign today. Basically a few Mars missions, or one Mars mission that I've done. Basically so I can talk to you guys about my feelings on the game, where they could have made it better, and why I like it so much. But with that being said, guys, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Peace. Okay, guys, we are starting off in orbit right away. We're going to go head over to Mars and start up on our mission, the Garden Spire. Now, this is based in Meridian Bay on Mars. It is one of the story missions, so let's fucking dive in and check it out.
I have a plan to charge the Gate Lord's eye.
Now, this is one of my my second or third mission on Mars. I'm really digging this game so far, mainly because of the massive expansion that you kind of get a feel for when you play these campaign missions. The maps just feel so big, and it just feels like things go on forever and ever. But with that being said, we are now dropping in.
Here we go.
And here we are, guys, the new mission, the Garden Spire. This is the Barrens in Meridian Bay, Mars. Now, as you can see, the waypoint off to the distance there, we basically have to traverse this massive, expansive land to get to our checkpoint, which basically brings us one step closer to fighting the main battle. Now, the speed bike, this is what I call it. I call it the speed bike. You can get all different kinds of these. You can get different colors, different speeds, durabilities, and strengths. You can also change the color of your guy, the strength of your guy, the armor of your guy. Like right now I have a cape on, or a whatever the hell you want to call it. But we are now making our way over to the start of the mission. Now, this is Skylands Bay, Meridian Bay. Here we go. Now, this is my favorite assault rifle. I don't know about you guys, but I love the auto rifles a lot more than I like the regular rifles, the pulse rifles, etc. Mainly because they just feel like every other game. It's a lot easier to use and to get used to. And on top of it, this gun is just freaking strong. Now, there are three classes. We have the Titan, we have the Hunter, and we have the Warlock, which I am. Now, each of them come with their own ability. My ability is I am able to throw a charged plasma ball out into the people that I am trying to kill. Like, here is my grenade right there. Now, we also have a supercharge that does about 3 or 4 times that damage. And you can see the progress bar right above my weapon on when we are able to use that. But it is amazing, and every class has one. They're just different, which is also a pretty awesome thing in my book. Now, one of the things I really don't like, speaking of that kind of thing, I do not like how the fire teams are only 3 people. I feel it should have been at least 4, and if at all possible, 5 people on one fire squad, because think about it, guys. How many of us actually have 2 other people we play with? I mean, most of us have 3 to 4 other people we play with when we play these types of games. Now, it's really hard to find somebody to play with when the party sizes are such weird sizes. So, the first few days I played, I actually had to play with one other person because all of my friends already had people playing with them, which was kind of unfair, and I didn't really understand why they made a 3-person fire team after that happened to me. But that's just a small problem. I'm sure they could fix that in the future. I've heard rumors that when the game is completed, you are allowed to go back with up to 6 of your friends and play the missions over. Now, this is just a rumor I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not. If you guys know, please let me know down in the comments. But I really do believe they should make it at least 4 people. But with that being said, guys, these campaign maps are tons of fun, even with 3 people. They feel really big, really detailed. Now, the game is now running in 1080p on the Xbox One when it was only running in 900p for the beta. So it looks just a teensy bit better. Basically, it's right in line, let's just say. It's right in line with the PlayStation 4 graphics. Now, these bigger guys are pretty intense. Depending on who they are, they have different ways of attacking you and defending what you try to attack them with. Like, as you can see, this guy in front of me has a shield, so in order to kill him, you have to either hit his hand to stun him, or come up from above or behind. But another thing I really don't understand about this game is the storyline. Now, I've played through about 2 of the planets. I played through Earth and the Moon, and now... Well, no, I played through Earth, the Moon, and Venus, and now we are on Mars. But I still haven't really necessarily understood where the story is going, like where it's going, how it's going. I don't understand any part of it. They give us a lot of vague information to basically fulfill our need of wanting to know what's going on, but it's not really helping. If anything, the storyline is making the story more confusing. Do not understand it, but once again, still tons of fun. If any of you guys understand any part of the story that's happening right now in this video, please feel free to let me know. And one other thing I dislike is the tower. Now, the tower is so small. It feels like a little itty-bitty city on top of a building, which is basically what it is. But how many of you guys have looked off, you know, into the distance of the tower and seen that big, barren city that below us that's all bombed out and on fire? That's where I want to go. That's what I want to explore. Or at the very least, at the beginning of the game, they should have showed us what the city was like. Show us the city being a city, and then let's see it get destroyed by the darkness. Therefore, we have something to fight for. Now, this game sort of starts in the very vague aspect of, well, the city is blown up, and this is your city, and the darkness are coming. It doesn't really give you very much to go on. It's really hard to find something to fight for when you have no idea what you're fighting for in the first place, other than to save the world from the darkness. Now, that's very vague in my opinion. Still a fun game, but still, guys, it just confuses me. And I wish the storyline was actually more like a story or a movie, for instance. But don't get me wrong, guys, I still love the game. I just wish they would have made the story a little better. Now, here is the shotgun you were just seeing for the first time. Now, obviously, shotguns are very strong at close range, and they can do some work. Now, you can also get upgrades for the shotgun that will make it do more work at longer ranges, but I would still advise either using the sniper or your assault rifle.
Let's try that terminal.
And if you can, use your rocket launcher or heavy machine gun, which requires heavy ammo. And you might see it laying around every so often. It's the purple boxes of ammo that people drop. And right there, as you can see, when I threw that bomb, there is a random in my game. Now, randoms can appear wherever you are at, no matter if you're playing with friends or what. You can basically run into different fire teams in the world and be able to help each other or not help each other. It just depends what you want to do, that's all. Now, I have not been fighting the guys on Mars for very long, so I don't know where all their strengths and weaknesses are, but we are working on that slowly as time goes on here. We are on the 3rd mission, I believe, of Mars, so we're getting there, guys. See, now, as you can see, I am helping a random destroy people that are basically destroying him. And I really like that aspect. You know, what would be really cool is if you could have 2 teams, 2 fire teams of your friends in the same world, and you guys could both go out and help each other based off of your 2 fire teams. So there might be 3 per team, but you can have up to 3 teams or even just 2 teams all playing in the same world, helping each other with the same objective. I really do think that would be a very good thing for this game. Or, at the very least, I hate to say this, the next Destiny. And this is what I call the tank, guys. Now, this thing is very strong. Normally only seen in multiplayer, but I just found one in campaign. Now, as you can see, the grenade, or the rockets rather, they will arc the farther you are back from your enemy. So just keep that in mind when you are shooting your enemies at a distance. But this thing is very strong, has kind of a crazy boost, like a pulse boost, but very, very strong, very fun to play with. Kind of reminiscent of Halo a little bit. Now, I'm trying to drive this all the way so I can, till I possibly can't drive it anymore. And now we do have a supercharge ready. See, now that we have infiltrated the entire enemy base, now they are basically going, oh shit. So what do you do when you're going, oh shit? Oh, you drop more players. So here they go, they're throwing the fog lights on, trying to blind us, but that ain't gonna work. We're gonna get through. This is basically one of their last ditch efforts to keep me away from what I am trying to get, which is basically some data information to help the light win against the darkness. And as you can see, guys, if you are ever in some trouble, you can always fly. Now, flying or hovering or lunging, whatever you might want to call it, it is basically a safe way of getting away from enemies. Now, when you are in the air, enemies have a harder time of hitting you. They can't hit you as easily, so that way it gives your health a little bit of a chance to revive itself. Now, I just picked up some purple ammo, which is heavy ammo. And in a few minutes here, you will see what this heavy ammo does. This rocket launcher is around 600 damage, so it does work, as you can see right here. Just took out half that freaking squad. And depending on where you shoot people, you'll get different damages. Now, most players have a spot where they are weakest, usually their head, but some of them, it's their stomach and vice versa. You know, it just depends on the player. You kind of have to examine your enemy before you go ahead and just start attacking him, because he might be proficient in what you are trying to do to him.
Okay, I'll get to work on this door.
And there's my little guilty spark, man. He's opening up the door for us so we can push farther into this base. And as you can see, the points that are on the right hand side of the screen right now, those are called Grimmer points. Now, Grimmer points can basically be used to upgrade your guns, your player, your armor, the color of your armor. You can buy new ships, you can buy a new Sparrow. Basically, it's one of the in-game currencies. Now, there are several in-game currencies, but I have yet to figure out what most of them do. I know Vanguard marks are basically for the online, Crucible marks for online, and it just depends. There's different vendors at the tower that accept different types of currency. Now we are getting close to capturing the Spire. It is very, very near. We have, I think, 1 or 2 more battles, and we will be at the Spire. Now, the Spire basically is what's holding their information in which we need.
There's the Spire, straight ahead.
And the rockets doing more work, as you can see. Throwing out the supercharge, guys. Now, there are 3 different abilities now to each player. You know, Warlock, Hunter, and Titan all have different abilities, and they have up to 3 different abilities you can use. I have, right now, I have I forget what the purple power is called, but I have Sunslinger after that. And then there's one more that is blanked out, which I imagine later on in the game they will unlock for us. So as you can see, the shotgun does do work. Now, in order to beat these guys that have a shield, you either have to jump above them to shoot them, behind them, or you can hit their hand, and that will cause them to be stunned, and then they will drop their shield for a few seconds, and then you're able to attack.
You handle the cabal. I'll wake the eye.
And now we are here at the Spire. Now the Spire is basically a giant supercomputer that holds all of the information, like I said, that we need to get. Now this information, as far as I know, will help us beat the darkness further away from the solar system in which we live in.
There, a conduit to the Spire. Get me close.
We are at the Legion's Keep, and this is basically when I need to take my little guilty spark guy, and we're gonna go ahead and jump up here, and we have to start extracting the information. Now, take a guess on who isn't gonna like us extracting their information.
I have no idea what's about to happen.
You will find out very soon. And there we go. We have just started to extract our information that we so desperately need. There it is. Oh, see guys, now here is the main boss. Now, almost every map or every mission you play will have a main boss. It's a little bit monotonous, it gets a little bit pointless, and it feels kind of crazy after a while, but that's only after playing this game for several hours. I do think they could have changed it up though and made different objectives instead of just fighting a main boss. What about something else? You know, I mean, I don't know what else to throw in there, but it would definitely be nice to see something better than just a big boss that you have to fight each round. Still tons of fun though, I'm not gonna lie. It just gets a little bit monotonous after a few hours. But you can almost predict when it's gonna happen. Now the best way to stay away from these main boss guys is to just keep flying around, because they cannot hit you, once again, they cannot hit you as well in the air as they can when you are on the ground or behind cover. So staying up in the air is a key thing when fighting any boss. And you can see that his head is basically his weak spot. The rest of his body is armored up from head to toe, besides his head. So, in this case, this guy's weak spot is his head. And it's pretty much the only spot where you're going to get any useful damage on him. The rest of his body will take about 50 damage, and his head will take 75 damage. And we're gonna finish him off with a supercharge. Yeah, buddy. And now we have the network keys to basically allow us to further access their information and hack it, or whatever you want to call it, steal it. So here we go. And that about wraps up the mission, guys. My little guilty spark man over here doing the readings. There we go, we got it all.
The eye is charged.
That wraps the mission up, guys.
The Black Garden and
The Garden's Spire. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for watching. If I've opened your perspective at all on the game Destiny, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. But with that being said, guys, I will see you on my next video. Peace.